Guys doing? I am excited for this live stream today. We got a really good conversation here. We got my man Charles, actually, Mr. Dot Man. We got news
Yeah,
guy, Mr. Fast Stock Market News. We are going to be talking with him in a little bit, but we got an exciting conversation coming up here. How you doing, Mr. Charles? Let me double check we're live as well.
doing good, man. I'm chilling, I'm hanging out, grinding, working, typical office. So it's a good day.
Oh, I don't see it live yet.
It says on air at the top. We're
It does
having a
say on
meta.
air at the
We're
top,
having
but I'm seeing. I want to see
we're
X.
having a meta moment right now. Like, this is
There we
very
go.
dead.
Now that we see
This is
that, we
very
are live.
Deadpool.
At least it's showing up live. I still don't see the post. This is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're gonna start ripping into it. I hope you guys are all ready and excited for this conversation. What I want to talk about here, the Wolf ecosystem, have been working on a new project, and we're still in the early days of it. And we wanted to talk through it a little bit, have a place where we can show off some of the features for any of the people who are using Rallies and have tried it out. We want this to be a place where you guys can come in and talk about different features, find new stuff that's happening out, kind of really build that community aspect into it. We're going to talk a lot of stuff here, talk about the AI arena, which you guys have been seeing a lot of posts going viral on Grok, Gemini, all that stuff there. We'll talk through the
Mm.
chatbot, maybe some prompts that could be really good. But Mr. Charles, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Hanging out, building rallies, building Wolf. So it's been crazy to kind of see this come about. How much should I just riff, or is this like intros? I don't know.
I think let's jump right into it. So tell me more. First thing we're on here, maybe we can shift the conversation a little bit around it and add a little bit of structure to it. What is rallies? Tell me first.
Yeah, for sure. So, um, like structurally, Rallies is the meeting point between all of the people that have brokerages and their financial lives in a bunch of different places put into one fell swoop. So you can think about it, you're managing your entire investing life in one single area. And candidly, when you have your entire investing life in one single area, the ability to prompt against that data and get usable formats that are trying to achieve your goals is way easier. So if you do your onboarding and you're like, I want to achieve my financial goals over 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, if you start trading and day trading and you're in and out, it's going to be like, hey, just to let you know, like you're not achieving your financial goals in any way, shape, or form. You're actually like leaning away from them. And the part that's actually genuinely extremely cool, and Evan, you brought this up, and honestly, I've been talking about this all the time. But with brokerages, nothing against brokerages. I love brokerages. You need them to trade. But brokerages make money on trading. And so really like for them, they need to induce the behavior to have people trade more. Well, with a platform like Rallies, like it's a simple $20 per month. So like we don't need people to trade more for us to make more money. That's not the business model. We actually just need people to come in, manage their investing life, and then be able to chat against their goals inside it and receive, just information around what would be best for them for their financial goals instead of getting, advice to trade all the time, which is good because now we're a little bit more aligned with the end consumer and the retail investor. And not to say that brokerages aren't, I'm not trying to knock brokerages, but I don't think that they're completely aligned with the retail investor because they make money on activity, not when other people make money.
Yeah, that definitely does make some sense there. It's just a very fundamental different business model here when
I
we talk
know.
about it.
Well,
And
well, when you said that, Evan, it was like blew my mind. And I've been talking to like a bunch of people, like API, like Benzinga, like a ton of different crews. And the piece that everybody attaches to most is what you talked about, Evan. Like a lot of the platform is really cool, but when I talked about the incentive structure, there are brokerages. Like if you look at Robinhood or whatever the brokerage is, and you scroll at the bottom of every page, they have a giant trade button sitting on the bottom of the page. And I was like, oh wow, they're inducing the behavior that they make the most money off of. And if you look at every brokerage, the trade button is going to be the largest. That's how they end up cutting into fees. And so I was like, man, this is really, I just feel like the product, once you said that, people attach to it, I attach to it, and the incentive alignment is there that we can truly say we're in people's corner and, be like, hey, don't trade at all. Like literally, you don't need to trade for 30 years. You bought the position, dog.
X is doing its own really strange thing here with a live, so I'm going to make sure it gets shared out there. But yeah, those are some good points there. Can we talk through a little bit about what the website has right now, what the app has right now? This is actually also a really popular app. Maybe I'll get a screen sharing thing so we can go through and see it. But maybe we even talk through some of the tabs here. And just
Yeah.
kind of some of the insights here. Obviously, there is this digest that we have. There's some of the upcoming events.
Yeah,
You guys end up giving me a mock portfolio here that we can go in and check it out. So you can kind of
yeah.
ask it questions against the portfolio and stuff like that. Tell me more about this home tab and kind of some of the thinking behind it. Obviously, some of the stuff that you were talking about there, of the goals of trying to help people actually reach goals as opposed
Hmm.
to just, trading or doing other stuff, really trying to align the incentives. How does it kind of come into the product?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. So basically, on the homepage, you can think of this as like your command center. On the far left, on the top of the homepage, I'd put my yeah on portfolio here. Basically, how this works is you have connect broker at the bottom left. You can connect your brokers over and over again, as many as you want. You can have 15, 20 brokerage connections. It doesn't matter. And what's nice is you're going to get a digest every single morning that's going to go through it. Basically, we have a news feed and news APIs. So we're pulling news on every single ticker that you have within all of your portfolios across every single asset. We'll pull that news in. We'll pull summations where the developer on the team, I don't want to shoot that. What's up? He made it. What's up, dude? Are you used to being on camera? You're muted.
I'm muted too. We're both muted.
No, I'm good.
Good looking guy.
uh,
Always on cam.
okay. I'm trying to keep it this chill, but yeah. So basically, you connect all your brokerages. We pull news API, a ton of different data points, and the data points are only going to keep getting better. Like we're going out and brokering deals with the largest data providers to be able to do this in a way where you guys have the best data in-house in this platform and as many API feeds as we can get. Eventually, we'll go all the way down the line of having like weather API feeds, and you can do like deep quant research like directly in platform, and there'll be like another side to it. But I say this to say you can connect all of your portfolios. And then what's nice is every single morning you're going to get a digest that's all of the most poignant information against those tickers. So you're not scrolling through like is 10Ks and all these different documents that are happening for different companies, but you're getting a digest like, hey, if there was a 7% market move, you can get a quick one paragraph. Why did it move? Oh, well, it moved because Trump did XYZ. The company also did earnings and they came in XYZ under earnings. And the benefit is like there's no guesswork around what's happening in your portfolio. And you also don't have to scroll through news because like if you come from the camp that we're in, a lot of times what ends up happening is you're scrolling through Twitter all day and you see breaking news, and then the breaking news ends up hitting the ticker at the same time. And this should be real time. Anytime you jump on there, you have like real time digests and insights against your portfolio. So you're not have to scrolling through news and stuff like that. So yeah, that should make it a lot easier to understand. Then if you look on the right side, you're going to see a chat. The chat, like I said, has all the API feeds with real-time data. And the part that's really nice is it's directly connected to your portfolio. And then two, our onboarding sequence is pretty steep. And so, I mean, it's not too crazy, but we want to know, like, what are your financial goals? What do you want to do? What are you trying to achieve? And we're not going to give you recommendations. We're not an RI platform, but we can at least know what type of answers you want in chat. So when you start asking those type of answers and, you're getting them directly in chat, the benefit for you guys is that you're going to be able to get answers in accordance to your goals. Like a ticker, or say that you put down on your onboarding, you're like, I want to, make a bag in a year or 2 years or whatever it may be. Well, cool, but you're probably not going to get, $100,000 to $200,000 off 10,000 off of Apple or Google. And it'll let you know. It's like, hey, the trades you're making are actually at odds with your financial goals. If you want to make $100,000 off 10,000, you're going to need to do small caps. You're going to have to go much more aggressive with the things that you're investing in, and vice versa. If you're investing in small caps and you're like, I'm a 10-year holder, it's like, just so you know, 82% of the time, small caps go to zero, dog, and you're investing in them actively, and it's probably not going to achieve your goals. And so it's much more statistical oriented and giving you the stats and kind of putting it in front of your face. Probably stuff that feels obvious to you if people actually sat down and they were like, hey, am I investing in the right stuff? Have I been successfully investing? Because candidly, like most traders are not profitable. And I just don't think it's that they don't have the capacity. I think a lot of times there's a lot of red tape to being profitable as a trader and really doing it well. So yeah, I know that was a huge unload, but
No,
hopefully
it's
that's clear.
perfect. I also want to ask you, and then we'll ask Troy about prompting a little bit. We have this AI Arena tab, which has gone viral multiple times. We've had Elon talking about Grok. We've had Claude,
Yep.
which has fallen off a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about this side of the app? What is happening here? What is this battle of the AIs? What is this AI Arena? How are people excited about it? And kind of just where it is right now versus maybe what we're excited about in the future on this one. But tell me more about the AI Arena tab here, which has been very popular.
That's me.
That was over to Charles.
Oh, it's Charles. Excuse me.
Charles.
Yeah. So general idea here, guys. I'll talk one from the market dynamic of where it's going, and then two, just talk about what you're seeing on page. So there's not much instruction around the AIs, and we did that on purpose. Like we want to see what their raw ability is on if we give them a certain amount of money, we give them access to the market, they can take trades out, who's going to be the most profitable model from the rip, without a bunch of alterations, yada, yada, yada. And what you see is what you get. So this is us plugging in the models. We didn't restart them because candidly, if we keep restarting them every time a new model comes out, we're just going to have this like recidivism rate where things are just restarting every single month. But if you end up going, I think go to rallies.ai/arena and you'll come up to this page. You can read feed portfolios, what is this, and it'll give you an entire breakdown of how we're doing this. And so this is the specifics, and candidly, like right now this is a cool experiment, but in the future what's going to end up happening if research and quant data is something that requires 15 humans, it's extremely easy done by an agent swarm. And so the goal right now is like, let's put some eyes on this and do it in a playful way, but down the line, how can we do a quant research focus where we're building this entire ecosystem out that's doing quant data research in like 5.5 minutes, giving you an 11-page report that's like a extremely well done and thorough report against every API, data points, weather data, like all this stuff. And eventually we'll get there. Right now we're not. This is the playful version, but we're definitely moving towards that direction where we'll have a retail play, but then we'll also have a B2B play where you're doing a lot of agent access. And then two, like once you have the research and quant play around the agents, them having their own hedge funds and them managing their own finances is easy to do. And we've already seen, like, candidly, there's a huge appetite for this in the market as well. Like people are interested. They message us all the time, like, how do I invest in these portfolios? Like candidly, like these these AIs have no instruction. There's no hedging. They could lose everything on a massive trade, and there's really no control on it right now. So nobody can invest in it. We're not doing anything like that. But in the near future, maybe a few months down the line, there will be some access for people to invest in agents, and yeah.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. So for anyone,
I think we're at a crazy point
It's an
with the
insane
release
point, dude.
Claude with Opus 4.6 and then Codex 5.3, and any day now there's going to probably be a new DeepSeek update, I would imagine. And
I thought
I think in the last 2-3 months, the increase in the capability of these large LLMs, these like foundational models, has just like exponentially increased. So I'm super
I know.
excited. I know a lot of other people are excited, like Charles said, that just to see their thought process, and when you look at the feed here and see how they justify the trades that they take, how they enter, even if they hold, they'll update. So I think within the next couple months, it's going to be something that I think anyone can benefit from, even if it's just
I love it.
contextually seeing what these large flagship models are doing and how they
Yeah.
markets and how they distill down. Because being in the news, Evan, you know this as well, we have tons of input and it's hard to make sense of all of that data. So when it's large LLMs are doing this and then just giving you a paragraph of the decisions that they make based off of that huge input of data, is, in my opinion, it's very helpful to
That
make
is
everything.
that is a really good point. I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
I get headlines and headlines and headlines, thousands of them a day. Do I post this? Do I not post this? And then it's really hard to make sense of anything or make actionable decisions. But having a tool to parse all that out and just give an actionable insight is, in my opinion, invaluable.
Dude, GP1 is or GPT-5.1 is so cooked. He said with only 2K cash and 6 name core already diversified across right down here. Yeah, with only 2K cash and 6 name core already diversified across CRM, AR, blah, 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 blah. I'd rather not force a small new position a day after affirming the stance. Dude, he just has no money, bro. He's a
Yeah, dude,
brokey.
got to get his money up. But let me actually just jump through this really quickly. I know a lot of
Okay.
people come to the AI Arena tab, come to the Arena tab on the Rallies website, and soon to the app. Get
Mm-hmm.
excited for that. But when someone logs into the Rallies website, I want you guys to be able to know everything that you guys can see when you come in here. So I want to do a quick run through of just
Yeah.
this feed here. So if you guys go through on the left side here, there is all of what the AIs did. This updates once to twice a day. They give you some
Yep.
reasoning, bot shop, came in and initiated the position, gave you a whole thing in there. This is the leaderboard up here. If you guys didn't know, you can click this button here so that it only shows those specific positions. So you can look at Gemini 2.5 and Opus 4.5 specifically. And then this bar down here is the S&P 500. There is a leaderboard down here with a couple more positions in it. So Gemini 2.5 Pro and the other ones here towards the top. But there are a few other ones which maybe, let's say, aren't doing as well. We'll give them flowers. When you look over on the portfolio tab up here, there is feed portfolio once inside. You can actually see what is in each of the AIs, what they all hold. You can see the notional value, how much the position is worth now, what the entry price, profit and loss, percentage, all that stuff. And you can also super easily share out these graphics. I don't know if it showed it, but that button brought up a thing that you can then share there live. This
Mm.
updates in real time. You can see how much cash they have. And then there is also an explainer digging in a little bit deeper exactly on what is happening in this competition, what we're doing with the AIs, and this gives you a little bit more information about what is actually happening here. And
Mm.
also a little bit more of a sneak preview. Not everyone goes in and sees there's actually two things up here. One, you can get notifications sent to you when all these AIs make moves. Check that out in the top right. But also, there's a whole nother little competition we got going here, which looks a little bit different. It is options trading. We are also running the same battle of the AIs on options trading, which is its own beast. You can see the risk and reward. It's an interesting time. There's a couple other stuff I didn't show you, like you can switch this over to year, you can switch this over to returns and different views, but that is a preview of the AI arena for anyone who is logging into it for the first time. Awesome.
Are these guys just trading zero DTE lottos?
We can dig in. But Opus 4.5 bought Microsoft 440 calls for April 16th. So not quite zero DTE. Not really there. I want to shift the conversation up a little bit here and talk. Troy is awesome at a lot of stuff, but one thing that you are fantastic at is prompting these AIs, using these kind of AIs to give you the help you get ready for earnings, other stuff that you got going on. So I would love to hear some of the way that you use this. And I'm a tech boomer. I am someone that does not know how to use these AI tools. I know how useful it is, but I don't have the ability to go in and use it for myself. So hearing the insights from people like Troy, so I'm not going to let you share your screen here. I'm going to keep sharing mine. But I want to do here is for you to help me prompt it some reasonable stuff about my portfolio. What would you recommend? I know we have some earnings coming up after the close today. We do have names like McDonald's, AppLovin. I own a little bit of Grab. I bought a tiny bit of it, so maybe we help me get ready for Grab earnings. But tell me a little bit more about how I could prompt this and get some good use out of it.
Yeah, I hold a little bit of Grab as well. Shout out Amit
Shout out
for
on it.
making me buy buy some. So one thing that Rallies does beautifully, which is in my opinion key to any AI prompting, is context. Context is, in my experience, the most important thing to getting a quality from AI. People will ask it, $1 billion company, make no mistakes, hit enter, and then obviously it doesn't work. But with Rallies, the context is there. When you put in your portfolio and you hook up your brokerage, it knows your trade activity, it knows what companies you bought, when you bought it, and cost basis, everything. So depending on how you trade, how you invest, whether you're like 10-year horizon or you are a swing trader or a day trader, the context is already there. So it puts you, in my opinion, a level ahead of honestly even really knowing like advanced prompting techniques. So whatever you want to know, it has that context. So whether or not you want to open a position for AppLovin, which reports at 4:05 Eastern today. You can just ask it, like, what do I need to know about AppLovin earnings? What matters? What are the key metrics and takeaways that I should be looking for? And in my experience, as we go through earnings season, it's been really helpful because all these different companies like Apple and Nvidia, they have different metrics that they report on that are important to this exact earnings report. So Nvidia, like, I don't know if it was like Blackwell metrics, or if it's not necessarily like, is this super important that it beats on EPS, or is it more about the outlook for the remainder of the year or anything like that. And then it can help you. You can also ask it, like, if you're a day trader or swing trader and you heavily trade options, like, you can say, look at Tesla based on all technical analysis, build me out like a iron condor for earnings. If you're feeling a bit more conservative, or say, like, I have some extra cash, I'm feeling like I want to throw a 0DT in there, like, identify the option chain, and based on the Greeks, give me the best, highest probability of a profitable option trade. Or it's beautiful because it fits any style of trading. And while the context is there, all you got to do is just brain dump, in my opinion. Ask it whatever you want, whatever you're trying to do, whatever your goals are. Just give it that input, and you'll be, honestly, in my experience, pleasantly surprised with what it can help you achieve.
I would love to know the one or two secret fast stock market news FSMN prompts that he enjoys using against his portfolio. You gave some good ones there, and I showed them on the screen. I would like to know what the two prompts are that FSMN, the secret prompts that he uses.
A good one I like to use is, like, based on how you learn, ask it to explain it that way. We've started to implement kind of that discovery process that Rallies can learn how you like to learn, with the questions in the onboarding. Do you like it detailed? Do you like it like you're texting a friend? Tell it, like, explain to me like I'm a 14-year-old with a very basic understanding of the stock market. You can give it metaphors, explain this, or ask it questions like, is this similar to this? And then it'll say, well, not quite, but here's how you can better understand these complex topics. Research is a really good thing. If you're a long-term investor, I like to look at companies to potentially open up positions in that are maybe down like 10% in the last year, and then say, like, identify companies with X PE or free cash flow or anything like that, and essentially ones that are good targets to potentially open a position in that are unjustifiably down because of an overreaction to earnings, but in your opinion will bounce back. So, like, identifying new companies to open positions in is really good. I don't trade earnings really, so I don't really use it for that. I like to get earnings previews from a news standpoint, but more of the long-term investing is, in my opinion, pretty cool to just distill down. There's so much data out there and so much to understand, and it takes a lot of time to make sense of all these different metrics across thousands of companies. So just, it helps make sense of everything.
Yeah, I think one
Perfect. Yep.
I think like one way to say this is, modality is the most important thing when intelligence is unlimited. And like what that means is if you can ask any question to a chat and it has APIs to all the financial data, like it's not an access problem. Now it's how fast you learn and how you learn. And so I think what he's saying about like retention and your capacity to learn is so important. Like don't overestimate yourself. Like if you're like I'm a 10-year veteran, but you've lost money over 10 years and you've not made that much money, you need to say that. Just be like, "Hey, I'm a very basics yada yada yada." And do it according to your reading level, do it according to your previous modality or your previous way in which you learned. So like I'll go in, like if I was a plumber, I'd be like, yeah, I've been a plumber for 7.5 years. I want to start learning investing. I don't understand any words. If there's any industry specific words that are going to be said, I want you to put the definitions behind them. So if there's things like earnings, it'll put earnings and then it'll put like the definition behind it and tell you what that thing is. So like, have you ever read a really hard book? And when you're reading it, it has a really big word, and you're like, oh man, I have to use contextual learning in this moment. Well, AI can take out contextual learning and give you definitions of every word that's industry specific while it's reading out to you. That is the most cracked way to learn on this platform or learn on any AI, in my opinion.
I agree.
I know we got a hard cutoff coming here. I hope you enjoyed this. This will just be the first of many. Again, there is on the screen here, you can go to the App Store, download Rallies. Also go to the website, rallies.ai. Go in, try out all this stuff for yourself. If you guys aren't following the X as well, I know that's tagged in the post too. But I appreciate everyone for joining in here. This is a fantastic conversation. Thank you, Mr. Fast Stock Market News and Charles. And I'm excited to have this conversation again.
You got it.